I must say we've got a fantastic day for our cod fishing today. There's virtually no wind. What little breeze there is coming from the south. It's only 3 degrees at the moment, but it's likely to warm up a bit later on. And the water temperature I've just checked is between 7 and 8 degrees, so everything's perfect. I'm going to be fishing with shads. This is a wild eye shad. This is the pattern that Vilhelm suggested. There's 10.5 ounces of weight in the head, a big hook. That's tied onto 50-pound fluorocarbon, which in turn is on 50-pound braid. And I know Vilhelm likes his multiplier reels. I'm going to fish with this big Saltiga fixed spool, which is just powerful enough. Just drop it to the bottom, work the shad, wait for the cod to hang on. One thing I've got to do today, unusually in Norway, no raincoats, it's sunglasses.
Small movements.
How fast are we drifting?
0.7.
Mm-hmm. Is that a good speed?
Yeah, it's a nice speed.
Is that a bigger coalfish, Vilhelm, or is it what we're looking for?
It's what we're looking for,
It's
just a bit small.
Will that be 5 kilos, 6 maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
It's a real prize fish in England, you know.
Yeah.
A real prize fish.
Down you go.
Cod. This might be a cod, Vilhelm,
Yeah, I think so.
on that smaller shad.
Yeah.
And it was way off bottom as well, like you said.
Yeah. Going chasing.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a cod.
yeah, incredible. You can see him such a long way down. Amazing. There he comes.
Can you see the scars underneath it?
Yeah. He's just nicked in the skin there. It's a lovely, pretty fish. 8 pounds maybe, 4 kilos,
Yeah, I think so.
9 pounds. Go and tell your dad or your mum. There's virtually no drift here, so I'm casting the shad well away from the boat. Then it sinks to the bottom. It's only about 20 metres deep,
25.
25 metres deep, and then slowly winding it back like it was a spinner. And a real solid thump. There he is, another cod. Cool, he wanted that perk as well. That shad can't even see it.
Nope. In deep.
In deep indeed. That's it. Taking the skin off my finger, but that's a small price to pay. Gorgeous looking cod. Really lovely. Well, we just stopped on the way to the new mark because there were just fish all over the surface, small coalfish. And Vilhelm wanted to catch some bait, so I decided to throw down my shad, and something's nailed it. I don't know what it is. It could be a cod or it could be a big coalie. Oh no, it's a halibut. Well, that's interesting. That's the first one of those I've ever caught on a shad. It's only the second one I've ever caught in my life, but that's the first one on a shad. It's very aggressive. It's a lovely fish to catch on a lure. It just felt different to a cod and not quite as fierce as a coalfish in speed. Well, this is our next spot. As you can see, it's remarkably flat. It's only 8, 9, 10 metres deep here, and the sun really feels quite warm. And the sea, well, it's just like a mirror. I've never seen this kind of sea before in many places. Gulf of Mexico maybe, certainly not in Norway. I'm more used to big lumps in the water and rain coming to join it. This is brilliant. It's amazing sight fishing for cod and goldfish. It's so clear. But I've just seen a big cod and he's hooked something. Is that the right one?
It's a cod, yeah. It's not the same one.
It's not a bad one.
No.
There's one.
You got one?
Yeah,
I found them then.
yeah. Straight down under the boat. There I've been casting away and they're under the boat in 12 metres of water. This took my shad on the drop. There he is.
Take him here.
Properly hooked in the lip.
Yeah.
5 kilos, 4.5 kilos?
3-4 kilos.
Yeah, 3 kilos, 3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a pretty one though, that is. Look at the
Yeah.
lovely markings on that. Really is lovely.
Lovely fish.
Perfect condition.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's a halibut.
Oh dear. It's mad here, just completely mad. You don't play about with them, Vilhelm, do you?
No. Oh. That's a bigger one.
That's a good halibut. Well, Vilhelm's dealing with his halibut. I dropped a big shad over and something's nailed that. Yeah, there he comes. Another good sized cod, not quite double figures. Well up off the bottom though. This was probably 20 metres up off the bottom. I have to take him round to the swim platform. Another prime cod. This is just fantastic fishing. Absolutely fantastic fishing. And what weather, it's unbelievable. Lovely. Well, as you can probably tell by the dark shadows and the sun setting behind the mountain over there, we're coming to the end of what's been an absolutely stupendous day, the best day sea fishing I can ever remember anywhere. Cod, halibut, it's been just a day full of fish. We've stopped here on the way back because there's an outside chance of a very big cod. There was one of 20 kilos caught here the other day, and if we can finish off with one of those, that would just be the icing on the cake. But even if we don't, the cake itself has been wonderful. The water we're fishing in is very deep, about 500 metres, 1,650 feet. So what's happened is the owner of the camp has come out and put down an anchor buoy already fixed into the bottom. It's onto a buoy, so all we have to do is take the rope from the buoy, tie it off to the bow, and then we're anchored. It saves dropping an anchor. You can imagine in all that depth how difficult it would be to hook the anchor up. So that's already done. Vilhelm's got the rope, he's going to tie it off and you can see the buoy just alongside the boat here. Right, this is where the leader starts. Now this is a 120 pound breaking strain braid, which is doubled at the end with a bimini knot, a very powerful swivel, and then here's the start of the leader. As you can see, it's crimped and then taped over. This is 600 pound breaking strain mono, 3 mil diameter. Right, let me take that mono, Vilhelm, and you go through the rest of the rig if you will.
Yeah.
What's this connection here?
What? This is wire. Here we go over to 3mm wire, and we have around 3 meters of wire before we have the first hook, which is here. This one we use an oily bait. We can put on a hook.
Always a new hook, yeah?
Yeah, always a new hook. This is the Super Mutus, which are the best hooks for this fishing in our experience.
Because of that circle shape, the fish don't swallow them, do they?
No, almost every time hooked in the side of the mouth. Like that.
And that's put on that way around, you can see it makes even more of a circle, like in a bolt rig for carp, really,
Yeah.
exactly the same
Yeah,
thing.
sure.
And we're not using two hooks because we want to catch two sharks, are we? But this
No.
hook is more of an attractor,
Yeah.
isn't it?
And then we go further down, around 3 meters, 4 meters of more wire. And then we have the connection to the lead, the sinker, which is here. It's quite soft. It's only to make sure that it breaks if we get stuck in the bottom.
Yeah.
And then we have the last hook, which is down on the bottom. And that one we fish on the bottom.
Serious hooks, Alex.
Yeah, you don't break these ones.
No, no, I shouldn't think so. I think me or you will break before the hooks.
Yeah, I think
Certainly
so.
me.
Yeah, my back. Yeah,
There you go, ready to
Yeah.
go. Now we need the bait.
sure.
That's the mackerel going on the top hook. Any other species of fish live down there, Vilhelm?
Tusk, ling and blue ling maybe.
Yeah.
Some skates.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Halibuts? Too deep.
yeah, halibuts.
Are they?
But more up in the,
On the shelf.
yeah, on the shelves. Just strips it. To make sure it doesn't fall off.
You don't want to go down to 500 metres and have no bait on, do you?
Nope.
Not a good idea, not a good plan.
Put a proper bait on.
Proper bait. These are coal fish that you catch them yesterday, did
Yeah,
you say?
last night. That. And then we put it out.
You ready to go now, are we?
Yeah, we just have to make sure we don't tangle in
Yeah.
the other line. I think that's okay. Around there. Just hold it.
It's going to take a long time to get the bait down because what you don't want to do is send it down too fast so it spins. Now my lead has just reached the bottom. And if you remember when I first dropped it down, this spool was completely full of line. There's now 2 centimetres of line gone off that spool. And I've got to wind it all back on again. Hopefully with something big and nasty pulling on the other end. My bait's now been down there for a couple of hours, so what we're going to do is wind up, refresh your baits, drop them back down again, then my one's down. That'll take about 25 minutes, half an hour to get it up and down again. We'll get Wilhelm's up and change his, so there's always fresh bait, fresh scent going into the water. It's going to take some time to wind up, I think. Hello?
Something's been there.
Yeah. The light thread, that's,
That's strange.
yeah.
See
something-
bites.
Yeah.
Bites here.
That's a big tooth as well, that is, isn't it?
I think so.
You think it's a big tooth?
It's hard to say. Very hard to
What's
say.
that little teeth there?
Yeah. But I don't think it's shark.
No.
Maybe a tusk or something.
We've just had a definite bite on my rod, the new baits that we put down about half an hour ago.
Real like hell.
Nothing?
Nothing?
No.
Okay, put it down again.
There had to be something substantial to bend this rod over that much on the bite, because this is a stiff, powerful rod. It's an 80 to 130 pound class trolling rod. Put it back in hold and see if it comes back. What can you do? Well, Vilhelm's rod's gone over and he's fairly confident, in fact he's very confident, that it's the right one. So what I've got to do is wind this one up out the way. 15 minutes hard labour, because what you don't want is for the lines to tangle together. I don't know whether I've got the hard job or the easy job.
Yeah, there it is.
Nothing there, Vilhelm?
I felt it. But I'm not sure what it is. It fell off, I think. It's no Greenland shark.
Well, the sun's nearly gone now. The light's really going. We're getting rain and dark cloud coming over from the east. So what we're going to do is pack up for today from trying to catch a Greenland shark. We're going to go and catch some fresh bait for tomorrow. Come back rejuvenated, refreshed, ready to go to give those bad boys some serious long handle. Within 2 hours with absolutely no action, and suddenly we just heard click click on Vilhelm's rod, and the rod started to go over, and he's confident that this is the right one.
Oh, take that
So I'll
one.
start winding up.
Wait. Yeah, that's the one.
Right. Now what's at home? I've got to wind up quickly.
Oh, it's a nice one.
Good.
Yeah.
Ah, Vilhelm. Tell us what you can feel, Vilhelm. Tell us you can feel it nodding or banging or anything.
It's coming so easy, but it's getting a bit heavier now, actually. I think it's around 150 meters left now, so it shouldn't be too long until it's up now. Okay, Keith, I want you to take off this hook. Take off this one.
Yeah.
Now we start to see it. Yeah, it's a shark. It's a small one.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Ah,
That's a small one.
fantastic. What a prehistoric looking beast. Oh, that's amazing.
You can see the parasites on its eyes. That's one that makes it go blind. It's perfectly hooked.
Their other name's sleeper sharks, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're
It's around
incredible.
100, 150 kilos maybe.
Yeah, I would say it's
I wouldn't measure it, so we'll find out.
mad, isn't it? It's just completely mad.
I can take the tail from there now.
Okay. He's going back round, he's going to the stern. Tail's going to the stern. There it is.
Try to lasso it.
And he's going back again.
Oh, sorry. Just try to pull it more backwards. Yeah, now it comes.
See, there he is. Right, I've got the tail tip.
You got a tail tip?
Yeah.
There.
Got it?
Yeah. It's 225.
These fish will have absolutely no predators at all, but they're armour plated. This skin really is like sandpaper. You can feel it's rough one way and not the other. It's fantastic, this is. Release him this end, Vilhelm.
Yeah.
Release him now. Release him.
Yeah, release him.
There he goes.
Under the boat on the other side.
That's brilliant, you know. That is just absolutely... Wilhelm,
Yeah.
fantastic, my man. Well done. Well done. Fantastic.
Thank you. It wasn't a big one, but it was the right one.
It was the right one. I'm almost glad it was him and not me as well. I'm glad you knew what to do. You couldn't go and fish for fish like this without knowing exactly what to do,
No.
could you? Not knowing exactly what to do. And of course, the studies that Vilhelm and Tor here are doing, by taking their sizes and their lengths, and it's going on in Trondheim as well, will go a lot towards research into these fish, because there's very little known about them. Who knows about sharks if they're 500 metres deep? At least I know what they look like now. I'm made up. Get in. Oh, get in. The midnight sun's one of the great wonders of nature. Never did I think I'd be fishing under it. It's up there now, it's virtually midnight. We're just going to start fishing for coalfish and cod. We're using shads, we're in a fjord in Norway, and it's time to cast out. Don't want to be bouncing across the bottom.
No use for the coalfish.
Just lift, just keep winding.
Yeah, keep winding.
There's some gulls diving up ahead, possibly on herring or sprats being pushed up from the bottom. So what we're doing, we're just trotting along very, very slowly. We've got the sonar working, looking for a shoal of fish feeding about mid-water. That's where coalfish often are. They're not on the bottom, they're up off the bottom. They're a pelagic species, free swimming. And once we find them on the sounder, we'll be cutting the motors and drifting through them, dropping our perks. Looks like we've found some. There's a cloud of fish showing about 30 metres down. We're in, at what depth? We're in
60.
60 metres of water, about halfway down. There's a school of fish marking, so we're going to drop our shads and have a look. Really quiet out here, just a lap of the water, a little bit of wind noise, humming through the lines.
That's a decent cod.
That's a good cod. Oh, that is a nice fish, Vilhelm.
Yeah,
7, 8 kilos maybe?
I think so. Maybe 6.5, 7 kilos.
It's a good fish.
Yeah,
Good fish.
took the
He
shad.
wanted your shad as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
There he is.
Off you go.
Well, we've been mooching around looking for fish for about 3/4 of an hour. We've stopped the boat. Vilhelm's come out, cast the lure in. Before it's hit the bottom, he's hooked up into a fish. I've not even got my lure on yet, and he says it's a coalfish. Let's hope so.
It's a nice fish. That's a decent one.
Well, that's a good coalie.
Not the biggest one, but it's okay.
I think this might be codfish. close to the bottom again, and it hasn't dived like your coley.
No. Yeah, it's a cod. Oh!
Oh, 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 oh.
I think that's a goldfish.
Another coalfish.
Yeah.
£7 cod, nobody cares.
£15, I guess.
Yeah, good coley.
It's quite massive. Fat.
That's a good £15, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Lovely fish.
Yeah.
See if we can get this one to stay on. I've just tightened up the drag a bit. I feel maybe it was a little bit soft and I wasn't driving the hook in properly. But this one I felt as the shad was dropping through the water, felt tap, 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 closed the bail, started to wind, and then hang on.
That's a goldfish. That's the biggest one of the day.
Do you think so?
I think so.
Wow, that is a proper coalfish.
That's a 20-pounder.
That's a serious coalfish. Oh.
There you go.
Oh, yes. This is fantastic sport. Middle of the night in broad daylight. Well, nearly broad daylight. Look at that. Look at that. I've never been to Norway before. I've never caught coalfish anything like this big before. But I'll tell you one thing's for certain. I'm going to come back and try and catch a bigger one. What a fantastic experience. What wonderful fish. Wonderful fishing in the most remarkable setting. Another fish I've never caught that lives here in Norway, called a redfish. It's not the redfish you get in Louisiana and around the Florida Keys and those sort of places. This is a different kind of redfish. It lives in deep water. How deep are we fishing here, Vilhelm?
We're fishing in approximately 100 meters now.
100, so it's over 300 feet deep.
Yeah.
And how do we catch these fish?
We use bait, herring, and some light sources because it's quite dark down there.
Oh yeah.
And we just reel slowly up and down. So
slowly jig the bait, drop it to the bottom.
Yeah, drop it to the bottom.
Willem's type of rigging, it's relatively basic. You can use a lead, but I'm actually using a speed jig. Now this weighs 10.5 ounces. It's luminous as well, so it'll produce some of its own light. And I've also got some of the special Escalite sources on that flick and blink under the water with real light. So that should attract the fish. There's 4 hooks on the trace. Vilhelm said I need 4 because I'm not very good. And they're all baited with strips of herring. Just going to drop them down to the bottom and, as Vilhelm said, jig them up and down. Still on the way down. Are you sure it's only 100 metres deep here? And there's a fish on. Well, that didn't take long, did it?
No.
Takes a lot longer to get the bait down there and to get the fish up than it does to get a bite. The bite was almost instantaneous. I'm going to count the colours in the line on the way down next time so I know how far I've got to wind in. Boom, boom, boom. The bottom of the sea here must just be covered with fish.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a lot of redfish here.
It's crystal clear, but of course you can't see the redfish until they get 10 metres from the surface because they're not red. They're only red when they get within 10 metres of the surface. So down on the bottom they're probably called dull greyfish amongst their friends. Get worn out just winding. Here we got some colour. Thought it was heavy.
Three.
Three redfish. That one's obviously gone for the light source. So it's actually missed the hook and gone for the light source. And because of the depths you bring them up from, see their eyes pop. Definitely red, aren't they? Well, this is slightly frustrating because we've just drifted out a little bit further from the land, and I've counted the line down. My line's in 10-metre coloured segments, and I've got up to 26 segments, so it's 260 metres deep. And guess what? We don't think redfish live that deep. Oh, there's a bite. Oh, no, I've got to wind all this up from 260 metres down. That's a long way. This is something you could never ever do with mono. Never do it in monofilament in a million years, because you'd never feel it get to the bottom. Or you'd have to use silly amounts of lead, or the break-off concrete blocks that I used once sword fishing in deep water. Hey, there we got some leader. And it's a tusk. You wish that on me, Vilhelm. I know you wish that on me. A tusk, Vilhelm's arch enemy. And it's a tiny tusk. Dab time.
Dab time, no doubt.
We've come inside the narrow fjord now. We're almost at the end. The end is just, I don't know, a quarter of a mile, half a mile that way. We can hear the water gushing down the mountains from the snowmelt on the top. And we're drifting. We've got 4-ounce leads, just bouncing them slowly across the bottom. Classic English style sandbank fishing, really. I've got to say, we've left the good weather behind. It was beautifully sunny and flat calm outside, but the wind's funneling in this lock between the mountains. It's quite chilly, it's spitting with rain, and we've lost the sun, which is a shame. Perhaps we'll have to wait till midnight. Here's the land of the midnight sun after all. Well, first bite in the fjord. Can't tell you what it is yet, but it doesn't feel like a round fish. It feels like it might be flat. We live in hope, having never caught a long rough dad before. Hope it's not a tusk, because I've caught tusk before. It's a baby cod and a tangle. It's not rough, and it's not a dab, and it's not flat. Well, come on, William, you've dragged us all the way up this fjord. We've caught cod after cod after cod. We're supposed to be fishing for flatfish. Is this a flatfish?
I think so. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see. It feels like one.
It's not nodding, is it?
Yeah, a bit.
It's raining, it's windy. It's all sunny where we've been.
Oh, yeah, it's a flatty.
Flatfish, good.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Is it a long rough dab, or is it a place, or is it a baby flounder?
It's a long rough dab.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Wow, look at that.
That's one.
I've never seen one of these before.
Look at his mouth.
They've got big mouths, haven't they?
Yeah. There we go.
They're amazing. What's it got a... It's rough going. Why do they call it? Oh, it's very rough on its head.
Yeah, it's like a regular
Very
flounder.
rough.
Yeah.
Teeth?
No, no.
Yeah, teeth, got little teeth.
A big mouth.
And a big mouth.
Yeah.
Well, well done.
Yeah.
Can we go back to the sunshine now? Halibut's a huge fish and needs a very, very special rig. Just explain to us the rig, Vilhelm.
Yeah, it's a 12-ounce lead. I have an Eska here, so it seems
That's
like...
a light source, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a light source. It blinks when it touches water.
Okay.
And I have 200-pound mono.
200 pound?
Yeah. They have very sharp teeth, so they can cut it. It goes back to a single hook that goes in the upper lip of the herring.
Yeah.
And I put a treble hook in the back of it.
Okay, can you show us how to rig that up?
Sure.
So the single hook goes through the jaw.
Yeah. Like that.
Is herring a natural food for them here, or do they
Yeah.
eat all sorts of things?
All sorts of things.
Do they?
I think I'll... Like this. The rubber band to secure it.
Yeah.
Like that. And secure the hook.
I've got it.
Like this.
Smashing. Now what we're going to do, we're not going to just drop that down and leave it, all right? We're going to drift it, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get in and get drifting.
Yeah.
Well done. Off we go, sending our baits down to hell. Deeper here.
It's about 30 meters.
Yeah. I've got a coalfish on mine, a dead coalfish. We caught some coalfish earlier, so it's really fresh. You're not allowed to use live baits here in Norway, so this is just a dead coalfish. And you drop it down to the bottom, yes?
Yep.
And then wind it up.
A couple meters.
Okay. And when we talk about big halibuts, you said they have them here to 100 kilos.
Yeah.
I'm frightened now. We're about 14 or 15 miles from the camp where we've been staying. It was quite rough on the way out, but the sea's forecast to drop down, and sure enough it has. The wind's very pleasant at the moment. And because we're sheltered by all these little islands, we're more or less in the open sea. The next stop, going that way, is Greenland. But we probably won't be going there today. Just got a hit. Gradually, slowly taking up and feel it. Jab, jab, jab. It's still there.
Yeah, that's the halibut.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. The shaking.
How long do I leave it?
Till you're sure that you have it. 30 seconds or so.
That's called passing the buck. I think it's gone. Shall I check the bait?
Yeah.
I'm winding up slowly because occasionally halibut will follow the bait to the surface. There's no other fish here that would have given us that bite, so it was a halibut. We'll see what damage it's done to the bait.
See the marks? And punctures?
Yeah, there.
That's a halibut.
Teeth marks there. Small ones on the other side. All the scales are gone. We've had a close encounter. There's something here again. Here it is again. It's there again. There's again. It's bizarre because I just felt it get slightly heavier.
Yeah.
And then it was... It's a bizarre bite. It's like a tiny little fish tapping at it. Ouch. There he is. I don't think it's the right one. Hard to tell. Because I don't know what the right one feels like. One of your friends. Another tusk.
Nice little though.
A greedy tusk. They've got, can we just see the teeth on that? Because they've got a very interesting dentistry arrangement. Rows and rows of teeth inside there, look, very aggressive. Well, we've had another move. This is now our last throw of the dice. Unbelievably, it's nearly 10:30 at night. You wouldn't think so because the sun's still quite high in the sky. But we've left the first mark we came to in between all those islands because there's some nasty weather closing in, and also we'd lost every vestige of current. It was absolutely still. We've come to a different spot. Where are we now, Vilhelm?
We're further out in the sea, and it's a big top that goes up, and it's some gullies in between the tops, quite a few actually, and it's around 30 to 50 meters here, and it goes quite up and down. So it's hopefully we'll catch some cod, and we could also catch some halibut there.
Still a chance for halibut?
Yeah, still a chance.
Good.
So,
but I'm going to give it my best shot anyway.
got it?
Yep. Set the hook into it, here we go.
Yeah.
I've got a reasonable sized coalfish on here as bait, dead coalfish. And this fish has nailed it. Holding very deep. Oof. This is fighting.
Thank you. Let's move it here. Oops. It's a fairly good fish, isn't it?
It's a fairly big fish, you're right.
Yeah. Then you're free.
Oh. It's got me pump racing now, I tell you. Ticker's going 19 to the dozen. I'm trying to tease it.
It's a halibut.
Is it a halibut?
Yep.
Oh, we've got a halibut.
Yep.
This is why people come to Norway, to catch one of these. The flatfish king of the sea. This is only a small halibut, it's a big flatfish. There he is, a flounder with attitude. Well done, Vilhelm.
There you go.
You pulled the magic out of the fire. Thank you. Well done. There is a halibut. There he is. He might only be a baby, but I tell you, it means the world to me. Now I can go home. It's been a long day, nearly the midnight sun, and it's all been worth it because of this.